I'm feeling good. Doing my little scrolling and judging today, I seen Karen Bass, old golf ball head ass, talking about that she's about to give cash assistance in the form of cards to the immigrants out there. Child, just look at the video.
We also are going to have a reinstitution of the Angelino card, something that Mayor Garcetti started during COVID, that will actually provide cash assistance to people. Because, you know, you have people who don't want to leave their homes, who are not going to work, and they are in need of cash.
I'm just wondering, like, how much more is it going to take for blacks to stop trusting Democrats, man? No matter what color they are, they're untrustworthy. Because at the end of the day, they're going to always have somebody that doesn't represent you or care about the betterment of your community behind them, funding them, giving them the scripts and pulling the string. My guy True Lion, he's in California, and I know that he was asking, like, who's pulling the strings? Like, somebody got to be pulling the strings for Karen Bass, for her to be saying something like that, because, like, y'all low-key didn't have no money for the people who was messed up when it came to that fire.
But prior to the fire, the city was in serious financial trouble, and we've now learned a nearly $1 billion budget deficit could result in as many as 1,600 city employees losing their jobs.
How you got money to get to people who are getting ready to be deported and are not United States citizens? And I looked up her family. She has a soft spot in her heart for the Latinos. Oh, she had a half Latino child, rest in peace, and her ex-husband is full Latino. She's kind of in the family way. It goes to show that she's going to be more for their people than she will be for her own. And you should know this, because I could have swore that Black Americans who petitioned to have reparations and were promised that it would get done, and the National Black Caucus didn't even have their back. Do you know why? Because majority of them are sorority, fraternity people. They family members is probably Boule members, and they're part of the diaspora. So they don't see any need to help out the Black American community, because it does not help out their rise when it comes to being the face of Black America. So yeah, I'm just curious to know how much more is it going to take. I mean, like, how many more times do they got to call you nigga in your face without even saying it? Black liberal secret. Let me show you. Remember a couple of days ago when I made that video, it said that Karen Bass has a soft spot in her heart for the Latinos? Do you know why? It's because she's a Latino. Yeah. It's not a foundational Black American. No. Because see, Karen Bass forgot that she made this post in 2018. Let me show you what that post is. This is from September 9th of 2018. Mayor Karen Bass, so you know that it's a blue check mark. So that means that it's a verified account. My grandfather Salvador came to this country from Mexico in the arms of his mother. So he was a dreamer before there was even a such thing as a dreamer. And during World War II, he fought for the only country he knew, America. When he returned home, he became a citizen, built a business, and raised a family. I am here today because of him, claiming that I'm Black when I'm not. So let's see if Google is gonna lie. What ethnicity is Karen Bass's parents? Her mother was a homemaker. Yeah, Latino Black family in a news article referring to her stepchildren. So she does not specify their ethnicity. But Bass family is described as Latino Black family in news articles referring to her stepchildren. Bass herself is the first African-American woman to be elected Speaker of California Assembly and the second African woman to be mayor of Los Angeles. She has also stated that her grandfather Salvador came to the United States from Mexico. So bitch, she's not an African American woman. You see how they lie? Do you see how they lie? And now I kind of understand why I was so shocked when I found out that a black woman was running LA, because it didn't even sound feasible. It didn't even sound believable. And now it makes sense. So that's why she goes harder for the Latino families and the Latino people, whether they're documented or undocumented, than she does for the black people of Los Angeles. It's because she ain't like you. Do what you will with that information.
Who you think should be deported? Is it just people who've been convicted of crimes? You have, what, almost 1 million undocumented workers in Los Angeles. What should happen to those people?
So let me just say that because we are a city of immigrants, we have entire sectors of our economy that are dependent on immigrant labor. We have to get the fire areas rebuilt. We're not going to get our city rebuilt without immigrant labor. And it's not just the deportation. It's the fear that sets in when raids occur, when people are snatched off the street. And I know you are aware that even people who are here legally, even people who are U.S. citizens, have been detained. Immigrants who have their papers and were showing up for their annual immigration appointment were detained when they showed up doing exactly what they were supposed to be doing.
So they should not be deported?
I don't think
they
so.
should stay.
Well, this is what
1 million undocumented?
No, let me just tell you. What I think we need is comprehensive immigration reform. I served in Congress for 12 years.
And didn't get it.
And didn't get it. And why didn't we get it? I mean, after I left, there was an immigration reform bill that had bipartisan support. This was during the campaign. The president decided he didn't want to have it happen because he didn't want immigration reform to happen where
I want to make sure I hear this and say it out loud so I can understand it. Karen Bass is giving money to illegal immigrants because they're afraid to leave their homes and they're afraid of losing their livelihood because they're dependent on their jobs, right? We got all kinds of U.S. citizens here who are barely making it, barely making rent, and having to choose between paying their bills or buying groceries. But because illegal immigrants are afraid to leave their homes, they can get a little money. They're saying it's coming from a private donor, but we all know who's gonna be footing that bill, right? The crazy thing is it sounds familiar. It sounds like something that we've been waiting on as people. I don't know if y'all remember it. Oh, reparations. Yeah, that's what we've been waiting on. Yeah, it's crazy because they got theirs in 3 weeks and we've been waiting for, I don't know, 200 years? Wow. And the thing about that is I don't even care about that stuff because I'm not looking for no handout. I know that we have more black millionaires here than anywhere else on the planet. And I know that all I need is a little bit of opportunity, a little bit of discipline, and maybe a little knowledge, which we could all get because we have smartphones. Even the poorest people have smartphones. So the knowledge is there. You just gotta get out of your victim mindhood and go out there and get it. But it's the principle of it. Because she didn't fight this hard on the reparations task force when we were talking about that a few years ago. But she making sure illegal immigrants got their money before us. And this is the crazy part because like people keep telling me, oh, how can you be black and not vote Democrat? Get the fuck out of here. What have they given to me? What have the Democrats done for me? Trump has put more money in black pockets than any president so far. Yeah, remember in 2020, the stimulus packages? Yeah, remember that? Or remember the PPP loans? Yeah, that started a lot of black businesses. He's given more money to HBCUs than any president, and he's done more for veterans than any president. So I'm black and a veteran, and he's put more money in my pocket than anybody. And it's not about money, it's about the principle. You keep trying to say that he's a racist, but yet he keeps doing for black people. I don't understand that. He's the worst racist ever. But I'm supposed to keep voting for Democrats like this who don't give a fuck about black people. Yo, get the absolute fuck out of my face with that shit. Y'all can stay on the plantation if you want and stay in chains. I'm cool. I'm gonna go on to freedom, boss. That's where I'm going. I'm getting on the train to freedom because this is trash, bro. Y'all need to get these people up out the city. That's why gas is still the price that it is, and everybody else is chilling on these good prices because y'all got people like this who are sapping the city and being millionaires. Y'all keep voting for me.
Owe citizens an apology for being absent while their homes were burning? Do you regret cutting the fire department budget by millions of dollars, Madam Mayor? Have you nothing to say today? Have you absolutely nothing to say to the citizens today? Elon Musk says that you're utterly incompetent. Are you considering your position? Madam Mayor, have you absolutely nothing to say to the citizens today who are dealing with this disaster? No apology for them? Do you think you should have been visiting Ghana while this was unfolding back home? Madam Mayor, let me ask you just again, have you anything to say to the citizens today as you return?
No. Ma'am, hold on 1 second.
Madam Mayor, just a few words for the citizens today as you return to deal with the catastrophe.
Can you take this down?
1983. Remember this date, but first, let me introduce you to Karen Bass. Back in the 1970s, community activist Karen Bass went on at least 15 trips to Cuba, many with a group known as the 𝒲𝒶𝓎 Brigade, a Marxist group started by the Castro regime to subvert American interests, weaken democracies, and spread communism around the world. Founded in 1969, the 𝒲𝒶𝓎 Brigade organized trips to Cuba every year for half a century. They attracted the most radicalized and delusional segments of the American left, including overtly Maoist and pro-Soviet communist groups. In fact, a Los Angeles police investigator who infiltrated the group testified to Congress saying that to be a member of the brigade, you had to be confirmed as a Marxist-Leninist, as a brigadista, and then moving up the ranks to organizer for the 𝒲𝒶𝓎 Brigade. Karen Bass visited Cuba every 6 months. Their mission? To radicalize young, impressionable American leftists in terrorist tactics and guerrilla warfare. Members of the 𝒲𝒶𝓎 Brigade were even taught how to make bombs.
Jesus Christ!
Karen Bass admits, on her many pilgrimages to Cuba, she went to see Fidel Castro speak several times, even calling him charismatic, and upon his death, praised him, saying, "The passing of Commandant en Jefe is a great loss to the people of Cuba," even though the people of Cuba see him as a dictator who impoverished their island. Another group, the M19, took its belief in revolutionary anti-imperialism to extremes, violent extremes. The M19 was the first and only women-created and women-led domestic terrorist group. Since their founding in 1978, M19's tactics escalated from robbing armored trucks and abetting prison breaks to building their own explosives and carrying out terrorist bombings. From 1983 to 1984, M19 bombed an FBI office, the Israel Aircraft Industries building, the South African consulate in New York, DC's Fort McNair, and Navy Yard, which they bombed twice. But that wasn't enough for them. On the night of November 7, 1983, the M19 called the US Capitol switchboard and warned them to evacuate the building. Minutes later, the M19 bombed the north wing of the US Capitol. November 7, 2023 marks 40 years since the M19's bombing of the US Capitol. Members of the M19, like Susan Rosenberg, traveled to Cuba with and were radicalized by the 𝒲𝒶𝓎 Brigade. The South Los Angeles 𝒲𝒶𝓎 Brigade was led by Karen Bass, who is now mayor of Los Angeles.
About 6 months ago, half of California was literally on fire. And their mayor, old Karen Bass over here, seemed to be more interested in ducking and dodging simple questions than she was in, helping her city recover. Instead of helping to move along legislation that would help these people to build their city back up, essentially she was nowhere to be seen. Or at least if she was seen, she was definitely not heard. Now, all of a sudden we find ourselves 6 months later, and here she is as active as anybody could be, fighting against Trump's administration in order to break the law, in order to incite an actual insurrection against the federal government. That's right, folks. 𝒲𝒶𝓎-𝒯ℛ𝒰 has not only attempted to sue the Trump administration for doing its job, but now it has decided to continue to fight for the illegal immigrants, to continue to fight for criminality, and essentially do what California has been doing best for the last couple of, at least the last decade and a half.
𝒲𝒶𝓎-𝒯ℛ, the mayor of LA, she decided to devote her time and efforts to finding philanthropic people and agencies that are donating cash to help illegal immigrants who are inconvenienced because they can't work. The reason they can't work because they're running from ICE, because they don't want to be deported back to where they actually are legal. Going back home, no, that's an inconvenience. So since we can't work, we need cash. And Mayor 𝒲𝒶𝓎-𝒯ℛ decides not to help the citizens of LA who are complaining about gas prices rising because, of course, Gavin Newsom enacted a gas tax which raised the gas 65 cents. The citizens who are complaining about grocery prices rising while they fall in other parts of the country, she doesn't want to give relief to those tax-paying citizens. She wants to devote her time and efforts to finding cash for illegal immigrants who are running from the police and from ICE agents. The citizens of California have written an open letter to 𝒲𝒶𝓎-𝒯ℛ as well as Gavin Newsom, and I printed it out for you guys. So I have it here. Read it. Bitch.
So California Mayor 𝒲𝒶𝓎-𝒯ℛ reportedly is offering cash assistance to immigrants that are affected by the ICE raids. This is the same mayor who a few months ago was in Africa, reportedly attending an African president's inauguration while skipping her own country's inauguration. She was in Africa while her state was burning to the ground. And many of those citizens that lost everything due to those wildfires only received $700, but now she has money to give to immigrants. This is also the same mayor who reportedly was behind a plot in the 1980s to blow up the Capitol and was given a pardon by none other than Bill Epstein Clinton. Yeah, so I would say by now, you guys, it is clear as day what this Democrat Party is all about. They are anti-America. The only thing they push is for men to be women, women to be men, racism when they are the party that's behind it, and abortion. I would say that they should just go ahead and secede from the union, because there's no unity. There's no United States of America as long as you have red and blue, in my opinion. They might as well just go ahead and secede from the union, because I guarantee you, if they succeed from the union, they will fail quickly once they realize that they won't get far without the American workers' tax dollars.
Because this is ridiculous, man. Los Angeles, for black folks, it is over with. It's done with. Look at the people that they get to represent us. They get the worst people they can find to represent us.
Right, coons.
This coon ass nigga. 𝒲𝒶𝓎-𝒯ℛ, Maxine Waters. These are the people they get to represent SBA and county.
Getting paid.
Coons,
by gay
members,
members.
sellouts.
Right, sellouts.
And hit the like button. It ain't nothing.
And it's
man.
enough for everybody to be comfortable. They're
So
over.
if you got something
They
that you want to add
pushing
to
black
the
people out,
conversation,
being
feel free to hit
racist
that
at
link,
work.
and
It's
it is what it
ridiculous,
is. You got
and they
it,
know
man.
it.
I'm just fed up with it.
That's why I work for myself, stay at home, and just do hair because it's too difficult.
Seriously, bro.
Fucking racist ass fucking people.
But the receipts are coming in. It's going to be paid.
Fast. She will provide cash assistance to immigrants, which i.e. illegals, affected by the ICE raids. So she's...
Before we even go any further, under Title 8, Section 1324, that's a felony to do what she's talking about doing. To advocate that is a felony. So she's committed felonies by advocating the process. So come on, Justice Department, submit this fool's circumstances to a grand jury, get her indicted, prosecute her, and lock her up in jail. Because as a public figure, the federal sentencing guidelines would deliver enhanced punishment. And if it got to the Ninth Circuit, it would be a 3-member panel, and then they go to the full 9, and then it would go to the U.S. Supreme Court. So ain't nothing happening right now.
Angelinos, today we had an important victory at the court. So now there will be a restraining order. They won't just be able to drive through the streets and snatch people off the street. But still, we won today and we have to keep up the fight.
And you just put another nail in your coffin with Title 8, Section 1324. And look, lady, I grew up in Los Angeles.
City coffers, but from philanthropic partners. So
that's aiding and abetting. That's giving cash on her instructions. That just ramps up the severity of the crime.
Right, because she's saying that these illegals, they're too scared to go to work.
Well, why should they be working if they're illegals?
So she's compensating.
You know what that says?
Right.
In other words, they are scared to break the law. Isn't that the purpose of having laws in the first place and effective enforcement, where the court gets scared to commit the crime?
Do it the right way.
Oh my goodness.
Employees, how we can provide protection for immigrants who might be attending a city event or at a city property, but we stay within the law.
That is giving aid, comfort,
I am here to
counsel, procuring, giving comfort or assistance to those who are illegal aliens in their ability, or assisting and giving all of the above again to allow them or assist them in escaping apprehension, detention, and deportation under the law. That's a felony.
In 2018, she posted a picture of her grandfather, Salvador, describing him as a dreamer before the term existed. He came from Mexico, fought in World War II, received full GI Bill benefits, and built a business. It's a proud story, but you rarely see it in her campaign speeches or public branding. Base doesn't often highlight her Latino roots in political forums. Instead, she centers herself squarely in the Black community, presenting as a foundational Black leader from South LA, and that raises hard questions. If her Mexican heritage is real...